Hey. Welcome. Hello, everyone. Hey. Welcome. We are live. And I will put this in the chat because one of my other friends to come on. I don't see anybody in the chat coming up. But anyway, welcome to Cap Hill. I am Captivating Christian, and this is the recap. Basically, we'll be talking about a recap of the week as far as anything that has happened politically, news-wise, newsworthy, entertainment, pretty much anything. How you doing? Welcome, everybody. Welcome, Quiet Storm. Welcome, Mama Dill. How are you? Nice to see you. So I was waiting for my female friend to, of course, wind out the kind of view here. But if there's anybody of the female persuasion who likes to join in to change up the dynamic, you are more than welcome. What we'll be talking about today, a few topics, of course, is why not, of course, President Donald Trump's revenge campaign that he's going on right now due to everybody who has testified against him in the hearings. We'll be talking about job discrimination and some other things. A racist judge in Pennsylvania, Gayle King, Oprah Winfrey, and just a couple of other things. So while I'm waiting for her to pop on, let's just get started. So this week, what hasn't happened? So the White House has purged, basically got rid of the NSA or the NSC officer, Alexander Colonel Vindman. He was the person to testify against Donald Trump in the hearing, basically telling that his Ukrainian conversation was inappropriate. Kind of the one who almost got the ball rolling. Other than the whistleblower, he was a part of that campaign. So Donald Trump has not only fired him, but he's also fired the ambassador, Sondland. So Sondland has been fired, and so has Vindman. Vindman can go back to the Department of Defense. They said that they will not shun him or discriminate against him due to the president's actions. So he still has a job. However, the fact that the president is going on this tirade is a bit questionable. Hey, what's up, James?
Can we really say we're surprised?
No, I mean, we can't say we're surprised. You shouldn't be, but of course people do. They like to say, like, oh my God, like, how could he do such a thing? Or like, would you really? I mean, the type of person he is, of course, he's going to take revenge on everybody. So
when before he even became president and he made fun of the journalist, I can't believe the journalist was autistic or disabled or... Do you remember what I'm talking about?
Yeah, of course.
Right.
He asked him a question.
When he did that,
yeah.
When he did that, I said, okay, there's no limit.
Right. Yeah, right. And there's no limit for him. He can do what he wants. He's grown. He's been that way. And it's like to come to DC, to come from New York, and in New York, as long as he's padded the city, with money so he can do his back dealings, he's been fine. To come to DC and be able to do the same thing without anybody checking him is ridiculous. It really is.
It's just one of those things where it's like, oh well, there he goes again.
Right.
Like it's just okay. You eating your breakfast, and there you go. Dude.
Right. And again, if anybody's interested in joining on, again, I was waiting for a female persuasion to kind of change it up. But if anybody's willing to come on, you can come on. There's the link right there. I just ask that you be respectful. And of course, your point of view, whatever it is welcome. So, yeah, but with that, I just thought that was completely ridiculous. I think it's unethical. If we go on this sense where in which our leaders, especially our political leaders, to the point of the highest office in the land, should have some sort of respect to it, some sort of integrity to it. You should be able to, children should be able to look up and go, oh, that's my president, or, kind of emulate their. I find this very hard to.
Well, there are certain children that look up to him highly.
I don't even think
there's certain.
I don't think those children even look up to him.
Because they, at my job, when they first announced that he was acquitted, they were quite excited.
Oh well, I mean them, of course. The others.
The others.
The others are, because it gives them freedom to say the things that for a time started to become like, that's just something you just don't say. If it was said, you said it, I guess, amongst your close friends. Now you can come out and just be like, like the one lady, I think maybe it was like in Washington State somewhere, where she was in the store, and I guess they told her something of whatever she didn't like what she was told, and then she was like, I hate niggers, and she's like storming out the store, and they're videotaping her the whole time, and the white guy walked by her and was like, lady, calm down, or cut it out. He's like, I hate niggers, I just want Donald Trump kill all of it. I'm just like, what are we like? How do you think? Where are we at? Are we taking steps forward, or are we definitely like hurling back? Like, make America great again is really much what we all knew what it meant. Take us back to where in which it was a certain place where we could say these things and do these things and treat people this way, and it not be looked at like, oh, you're such a horrible person because you feel that way.
Well, did you hear about I actually just saw this before we got on. Did you hear about the CEO that was forced to step while he was fired?
Yeah. I have that. I have that.
So clip. It's like in certain aspects we're moving forward, and in certain we're moving back. So it's like a hard standstill.
We're really starting to see a lot more racist things come up than even before. Like this whole thing with the CEO guy. Like, I'm gonna. Hold on one second. Let me.
For calling his Uber driver the N-word.
Yeah.
And he's recorded doing it, so he can't deny it. And then what I found funny was when the reporters went to his house, he said, oh, this whole thing is being blown out of proportion.
Right.
Really?
Right. He surely did.
Okay.
Yeah. Hold on one
second. The Uber driver respectfully asked you not to sit in the front seat. It's just his personal rule, which as a person who drove for Uber and Lyft, I understand that. Right. I understand it completely.
Right.
Yes, that's exactly it.
Yeah. I'm going to play it right now.
My life has been ruined. Hans Berglind was the founder of a successful company last week. Now, I don't have anything to do with the company anymore. I'm fired. All because of an Uber trip, where the driver asked Hans to sit in the back.
Are you serious with me? No, I don't like when people sit in the front, period. I'll cancel and refund you.
The ASU senior Randy Clark canceled the trip, but Hans still hopped in.
I'm here. I'm sitting here in the back seat. Please leave my vehicle. Is that because I'm white? No, sir. You're a oh, man.
So blown out of proportion. And it's ruined my life. It's ruined my company. Randy now asking the Attorney General's office and City of Tempe to investigate a possible civil rights violations. For Randy, it was a racial slur he thought was a thing of the past. For Hans, it made his life last week.
I'm mad at the music though.
Exactly. And the picture with the horse, him smiling.
I don't have anything to do with the company anymore. I'm fired. My life has been ruined. Hans
Yeah, but that's pretty much like the type of stuff. Hey, Wiggs, how you doing? Nice to see you. Munch Bar, welcome. No. Hey, Castro, what's going on? Oh, James.
Huh?
James. No, my friend James, the one that we always seem to go back and forth. You are welcome to come on, James, if you so choose to. There's the link.
Let me see.
So you can discuss what you feel. And no, I'm not. Again, we haven't even gotten there. Basically, I was just skimming, talking about the atmosphere in which we have right now due to this president. What's up, the Wiley Show? How you doing? So
to address what James said, I'm
upset.
Trump.
I'm appalled by it all. However,
yeah, it's one of those things where Donald Trump has been proven to be untouchable at this moment.
Right.
So we can be upset. We can do whatever we want, but right now it's nothing anybody else can do but be upset. That's literally as far as it can go at this moment.
Right. I was just laughing at Nate's comment. That's very true. That CEO can definitely now go drive for Lyft. Right. I mean, I guess we can get to that. I wasn't really going to talk about that right now, but to talk about the Oprah and Gayle situation, I will say this as a preface to all of, before we even get into the meat and potatoes of the Gayle King situation. As far as Oprah Winfrey is concerned, I do believe she has a bit of trauma towards what she dealt with growing up. She was, sexually assaulted, molested, or what have you. From that molestation, she did have a child. The child wound up dying. And so I personally, and this is just my views, Captivating Christian, think that she is traumatized. And anytime there's a black man accused of anything sexually done to anybody, she is on it like attack dog. And it's very different, as you can see, from how she deals with white men who have done some of those same egregious atrocities. And I think Gayle kind of shares her sentiment. Now, with that said, I watched the interview. We all know how producers, or some of us don't, but in dealing with the show, the producers, the editors, they cut stuff up to find out what's more enticing to the audience, what would be more of a catcher, what people will be talking about for a whole week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a whole month. So granted, yes, she's a journalist, but she's not a new journalist. She is quite seasoned. So to say, well, she's a journalist, she has to ask the hard questions, I get it, but new journalists ask hard questions because new journalists do what? They want to get out there. They want to put their name out there. They want to, they want people to talk about them. They want to do more stories. She is a seasoned journalist. There's no reason she did not ask Charlie Rose when she interviewed him on his accusations of molestation. She did not ask Charlie Rose any tough questions referring to that. Now, what I will say about Kobe's thing, Kobe was acquitted, or the trial never happened. Now, the lady didn't want to testify. Now, the facts that she didn't want to testify, who knows? Maybe she could have been falsifying and not saying anything, or, saying stuff that maybe didn't happen. But as a celebrity or as someone in the public eye, you have an image to uphold. And the longer things stay out in the public, the worse your brand and your name starts to become. So a lot of times, even though stars and artists are not guilty of particular incidences, they settle to quiet it down and stop it from spreading and growing legs. Now, with that said, okay, so now with that said, I just feel that we sometimes as a people hawk on accusations more than the actual people who have been found guilty, or we know of being guilty, God bless you, of
Thank you.
particular things. So that's all I'm going to say on it. And anybody can add, and I'll go back and read the chat. But you have any thoughts on that?
Hold on. Let me switch my thing.
Oh, okay. You switching? Gotcha.
Ooh. Hold on.
Yeah, you're going to have to close that.
There we go. Okay. Okay. Personally, I don't think it ever should have been brought up. One, Kobe just passed.
Mm-hmm.
It's fresh on everybody. I was born in 1990. Kobe Bryant was one of my idols growing up.
Mm-hmm.
We had Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant.
See, Michael Jordan was on his way out the door by that time.
But at that point, we knew Michael, we knew Scotty, we knew Dennis, we knew Kobe. Like, sorry, that sneeze really got me. Mm-hmm. But we had Kobe as an idol. Even if, come on, think about it. Anybody who's in my age range, I'm 29.
Mm-hmm.
You throw something into the trash can in the back of your head, what do you say? Kobe. Like,
see, I'm older than you, so I'm
right. You are older than me, but still, it's that same feeling. And a few people at work were saying the exact same thing. That shouldn't have ever been brought up. Mm. That was one of those things where it happened. He went, like, they handled all that.
Right. He went through the litigation process of it. So it's like, if the man was acquitted or whatever happened, he was not charged with a particular crime or incident involving that. Let it go. And if you didn't talk to him about it while he was living, why wait to talk to him about it when he passes?
That part.
Because my whole thing, when people try to be like, oh, well, it's the same thing with R. Kelly. Everybody celebrated. And I find fault with that too, because I'm like, y'all done seen the video. I don't care if he said it was his twin brother or his twin sister. Robin, he was all up in that girl's stuff. You've seen it with your own eyes. Y'all continue to listen to his music and stuff like that because nobody, pressed the issue. They didn't want the child to testify, or whomever didn't want to testify. So he wound up continuing on. Now, all of a sudden, all that has caught up with him, and now he's facing his music finally. And it's like, oh, okay, this is a big issue. But I mean, it's just ridiculous. I find it to be extremely ridiculous at this point.
I see the comment, respect the dead. I agree.
Yeah, but I mean, it's like, why can't we, and I'll get to the issue of even Snoop Dogg. It's like, we need to learn to respect ourselves.
Agreed.
First and foremost, we need to learn to respect ourselves. We need to learn to respect our people, period. So that means even if somebody does come with you, hey, ask this question. If you really knowing yourself is a violation, then why would you ask that? That's just like somebody, if she had to interview her best friend, Oprah. I'm sure through the years, somebody has put in, ask her if her and Stedman actually have relations, or is she on the other side, or do they swing, or do they? I'm sure some of these stupid questions have been. And nope, I'm not asking that. Nope, that's personal.
Gail would not do that. She
right,
knows.
but this is what I'm saying.
Oprah would give her that look.
But this is what I'm saying.
Really?
It's a level of, you have a level of respect that you choose not to cross. And I think we just need to have that amongst ourselves. We give that to the others, but we don't give that to ourselves.
The others give it to themselves. We were having that conversation on the way to work the other day. Every other race is together, but us,
yeah,
we like
that's what I'm saying. They give it to, even if they're wrong. Even if they're wrong. Look at the Senate right now. Look at the Senate right now. They know, and I would read, because I just read an article about the senators. A few senators gave their papers, because you can't use your cell phones, and you can't use, you had to write everything down. So a few senators, 3 Republicans and 4 Democrats, gave their papers to a newspaper. I think it was the USA Today. Their scraps about what they were writing.
You that?
Yeah, about what they were writing during the impeachment trial. And a lot of them was like, this is crazy. I can't believe he did that. We need to really protect our elections. We need to protect the state of, the state of America and all this other stuff. And but you voted to acquit him anyway.
Yeah. They stand by their own.
And it's not for nothing, not because you didn't know he was guilty, because you knew he was guilty, but the fact of the matter is, it really didn't have nothing much to do with the fact that he was a Republican, because if he was a Republican and he happened to be one of us, he would have got impeached. Okay? They would have charged him.
Don't say that too loud. Don't take too much sense.
I'm just saying. They would have charged him. And it is what it is. Sometimes you have to call a thing a thing. They would have charged him. However, they did not charge him because, of course.
You're right.
So, I just think it's, we get to a point where we don't respect ourselves, and we ask these questions that normally we should not ask. Hey, Miss B Town, how are you? Hey, it would be inappropriate to ask. One thing I will say, do I agree with Snoop Dogg using her, calling her the B word? No, I think there's a level of respect that we should have. Like, you should have that respect for the Black woman, period. Not to, if you're angry with her, cool. If you disagree with her, cool. But you didn't have to say that.
I think we as a people need to stop publicly coming after each other. Stop coming after stop.
Right.
Regardless of what we do or do not feel about what she did or what she did not do. Granted, we all feel what she did was wrong. Most of us feel what she did was wrong. I think Snoop Dogg was not wrong for his opinion. Of course, we all have an opinion. We all give our opinion. I feel as though his message could have been delivered in a more subtle way. I could tell he was upset because apparently everyone said that him and Kobe were close. So okay,
I don't doubt that. I don't doubt that.
It was just a bit much in terms of, well, I'm sorry. It just, again, not mad at him because he felt some type of way and he said what he felt. But in terms of what we're all trying to move towards, it wasn't the best way of delivering it.
Right. It's not. And I don't want to make excuses for the type of world he's in and the world he comes from where they talk like that, because I don't think it's acceptable, period. I think that word, the N word, all that stuff, we need to stop, because if, people say, oh, it's like a term of endearment that we use, we empower it amongst ourselves. But in saying it to ourselves when they are present or around or any of that, gives them the same power to say it in anger because they feel like you say it. So I'm going to say it because you say it. And it don't make it right by any means. But if we start to really hone in on ourselves and realize, hey, we need to stop saying this word. Because if we stop saying the word, they'll stop saying the word, because it'll just be like, hey, what are you saying? Why would you say that? Oh, I heard it in the rap lyric. No, they don't even say that no more. They don't even play that no more. Like, why are you still saying that? You know?
I remember when Black Panther first came out and everyone was doing the X. I'm fine with that. That being our little thing, I'm fine with that. That's cool. That'll be our own little term, or I don't know.
Right.
It's kind of hard to migrate an entire race to something. Right.
Now, I will say this before this person comes on, because I see you backstage. Please be respectful, because if you're not, I will, you will get the chopping block. So I will listen to your point of view, but please keep it at we are chill over here, so keep it cute. Okay.
Oh, Nate, you and I are on the same page. I agree. Nate, you should have called Gail. I'm sorry.
But I'm saying that was my thing.
Should have just called her.
But that was my point. My thought was, I'm sure you have publishers that can get in contact with Gayle King in some form or fashion. Mm-hmm. So why couldn't you have done that instead of taking to social media and saying that? You could have said you disagree, you don't feel right about what she said or anything like that. But to say that was a bit much. To call her that was a bit crazy. Yeah, exactly. Everyone said must be Wiley. Yeah, it is, because I had to, because Lord knows.
Peace and blessings, brothers and sisters. How you all doing?
Hey.
Hello.
God is, so good.
He is.
I'm gonna be on my best behavior, I promise.
All the time. You ain't gotta promise me, because if you're not, you will get chopped, just so you know.
Okay, you'll give me the chopping block. But that's what you do when you have power. When you are the executive producer of a show, you can chop somebody, right? So I'm on the side of Gayle King is an employee of a job, and that is questions. And I think we as African Americans need to realize, once you work for the employer, you don't have a say so. You got to do what that employer want. And CBS want the ratings. They want the gossip. They want the tea. And if I was in the same shoes with Miss Gayle King, I would ask the same exact question, because the question was raised about Kobe Bryant pass. And anytime someone raises it as a good reporter, you ask the question.
Right. No, I understand that. But again, she's not a new journalist. She is quite seasoned, and she's been with CBS and other channels for a long time. So she does not go into, they don't just go, here, say this. No, I'm sure she is at the table with the questions, and she also has a say of, no, I don't want to ask that. Yeah, I may ask that. We may go into that segment. I'm not sure. And she walks away very confident, knowing this is what I feel like should be asked. Mm-hmm. This is what I may ask, and this is the tough question I might touch. Nobody can't tell me that she didn't know that. Now, somebody new, fresh out of college or whatever, coming into that, yeah, of course, they giving you questions. You like, here, say it.
At this point in her career, if she's not at the table, she should be. She's been doing it for how long?
She's been doing it for 30 years.
I'm not even 30 yet.
She knew exactly what she was doing.
So she knew. And you know what? She might have raised an eyebrow and said, you know what? I'll give it a shot and gauge the responses.
Right. But then the response became too volatile, and it got a bit like, oh my God, I didn't, and it's like, you have to be mindful that you had to be mindful that was going to happen. We're not talking about somebody who just, just got a contract to the NBA and tragically this happened. This is a kid that came straight from high school that people watch grow up, so yeah, that and won 6 championships for Los Angeles. Them people were going to be like, what? And I mean, I just don't feel like it was appropriate. I just feel like
she asked a question to R. Kelly. Gayle King is the host that are winning the morning ratings, and to keep her position, she's got to be known to ask the tough questions. I feel as though
did she ask Charlie Rose the tough questions?
But again, no, she didn't. No,
she did not. She did not.
If LeBron James went in his seat or anybody else, Shaq, she would have asked that question. It was the first question.
Right, exactly. But that's the point. Why is it only the tough questions asked of those that people that look like you, but the people that don't look like you don't get those tough questions?
I don't understand why it wasn't asked to Kobe while he was alive.
That too. And like your caller said on your morning show when I caught it, the lady said, did she ask Charlie Sheen those questions when he was going around passing out AIDS to people? No, it was like Charlie Sheen's like talked about it, what, 2 days? And then that's it. Charlie Sheen still gets to do TV, movie shows, and everything acts like, oh, it's nothing. This man, something happened. The lady wound up not testifying. They settled out of court. That was it. Was he charged with anything? No. So then why must we still carry that as if it was a thing? Not only that, he's turned his life around. He, apologized to his wife. They rekindled their relationship. They wind up having children and continuing their marriage. He wind up being more involved in the WNBA because his daughter wanted to follow his footsteps. So then why must we? Okay, we. And if you want somebody to ask the tough questions, have one of them ask the tough questions to his friend. Why must it be us to ask the tough questions to us? Because and have us look like we're attacking. It's on the attack.
She's the host. It's her.
No. I understand what you're saying in that regard, but at the same time, she's not new. So then you step back and go, "Hey, you know what? I think this may be too soon." And as a friend, though, that was Kobe's friend. That's not Kobe's wife. That's not anybody connected into the situation. She was a friend. So why would you even ask that of a friend?
This is where I blame CBS in this regard only, because after the interview aired, people don't understand. The interview had already aired, people. You all saw a clip of interview that already aired on television.
No, I know. That's what I said earlier.
The network, I think,
edited it. Yeah.
For ratings.
Right.
Is television business.
But but you can't be mad. You already know the business. She knows it. She's an executive producer on Oprah shows. She knows how it works.
Word. That's wrong. And that
I agree.
Where is the organizations when Black woman is being dogged out? Where is their protection? If I, as a gay Black man, or depending on the day, I'm gay today, but if someone called me the F word, I have an organization that can say, "Oh, you homophobic." But as a Black woman, you could call her so many names. Where is that protection?
Right, but that's our responsibility. That's our responsibility as men to do that. That's our responsibility. And when we don't do that, whether it's here on this platform or other places, when we don't do that, we do ourselves a disservice. So that's why I say, I'm not picking this one side over that one side. What I'm saying is it's all egregious, period. But we need to start taking a stand and saying, oh, wait, because the problem is we're not protecting not ourselves. We're not protecting our women. So what's happening is our women are being attacked, not only by us, but by the others too.
Absolutely.
I just want to chime in something. Mm-hmm. You said that's our duty as men. It's not just our duty as men. It's also our race's duty as people, period, regardless of when men, women, or otherwise. Yeah. We need to defend each other. Right. So regardless of it's men defending women or women defending men, we need to defend each other.
Right. Exactly.
Just wanted to throw that out there, but go ahead, continue.
I totally agree. I mean, but that was my point. We need to defend each other.
And Snoop Dogg, I did not hear him say anything about Martha Stewart, about her words that she said about the Black community. I did not hear him say anything about Trayvon Martin killer, George Zimmerman, when he did that.
But he did. No, he did. He did speak about.
I'm talking about call him a B, call him a taco, something degrading.
I mean, a lot of people. No, I have to push back to you on that. A lot of people did come at George Zimmerman, and still do whenever he pops his head up, his little troll head. out for some reason, either selling something stupid
Didn't
and
he
signing his
talk
name on,
about
they do go after him. So that's
burrito
not,
eating wetback? He didn't say that type of
that's not
term like
He
he
did.
did Gayle King. He did.
He did. I mean, I don't know if you want this thing, like this George Zimmer thing, to be constant, because I don't believe in giving people that power. That's too much. If they come about or if they pop up, then yeah, you give them a little heat. But to constantly berate someone, you giving them too much. You're giving them too much, because then you're putting the spotlight on them and keeping the spotlight on them. That man needs to be under a rock, and he needs to stay there.
You're right. The more you say somebody's name, the more power they have.
Right. That's why I don't give nobody no. You can say what you want. You can say you don't like me. Cool, great.
Your name's still in my mouth. I mean, my name is still in your mouth. So go ahead and talk about what you want. Tell me how much you don't like me. Tell everybody else.
Right.
Go ahead. Hey, why you had to drop my YouTube channel? How about that?
I'll wait.
And watch them subscribe and tune in every week. Go ahead. Tell everybody how much you can't stand me.
I'll wait.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, yeah. So that's what. So I mean, I get what you're saying, but I can't, because the part I disagree is the fact that she's not new to this. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, she was in on it, but she did not expect the backlash. And it's like, cool, I get that. You don't have to expect the backlash, but you had to know it was coming. And I get. Go ahead.
She making good money, and
that has nothing to do with it. But at what point that has nothing to do with it? No, I'm gonna stop you right there. Let's be very clear. Gayle can go on any trip anywhere in the world, buy anything, do anything, due to Oprah alone, due to just her saying, I know Oprah. We some of us involved in that world know that stars don't really pay for anything anyway. They name drop and they get stuff for free. So I'm sure Gayle does not have to really pay for too much of anything. So the fact that she's getting paid, come on, really? That's really no big thing. My whole thing with her is, it's been proven. She's shown it. When she interviewed Charlie Rose, she did not, okay? She did not ask anything deplorable, anything kind of like going deep to where in which it was like, damn, that was a good interview. It was more like, I don't know what to say. I'm so appalled that I've looked up.
Let's keep in mind this though. Who's controlling that studio? So they probably told her, don't go too deep now.
But this is what I'm saying. But you're still making that choice. You know what I'm saying? Because you could still, although the lights are on, when the lights are on and it's go time, you still have that choice to go, ooh.
Well, let me ask real quick. Let me slide this in.
I'm gonna just slide this in. You have that choice. So when you choose not to do that, that's, you make that choice. So it's like it's fine.
But I feel as though it's not okay to call her out her name. But I also would say this.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Her shoes, captivating Christian, to my brother that's on the line with us, I would have asked the tough questions.
Oh, my name is Antonio, by the way. Sorry.
What was your name, sir?
Antonio.
To my brother Antonio, I would have asked the tough questions. I asked tough questions, and I asked very insensitive questions because I want to know. The people want to know. White America want to know. Black America want to know that.
Yeah, but there has to be a level. But there has to be a level of respect to some degree. There has to be a level of respect to some degree. Yes, you can ask a tough question. Yes, if you're a journalist, that's what you're supposed to do. But where is the level of respect? Like I don't know if I can't even say we lost it, because I'm not even sure where we ever had it.
This is a business, you can't say level of respect in business when you're in television. You're competing with so many networks.
No, I understand that, but when you're fresh and you're new, I get that. When you're fresh and you're new, you can ask all the questions.
Captivating Christian, she haven't always been this successful. She's been on.
No, of course she hasn't.
So she's now in her grind. This is Gayle.
No, she's not. She's not in her grind. She's not in her grind at all. She's not in her grind. She's not in her grind. She's not in her grind.
She had a whole show on. Nobody watched it. I watched it with my coffee, but nobody was talking about Gayle King. Now she's on CBS. Everybody's talking about her. After that R. Kelly interview, she asked the tough questions. And that's
the only reason why everybody's talking about her, other than the R. Kelly because everybody just knows her as Oprah's best friend. That's why. So let's be very clear. Let's be very clear. Everybody just knows her as Oprah's best friend. So she's trying to always come out once in a blue out of the shadow of being Oprah's best friend to, hey, I'm a journalist. I do stuff. But she's been working for CBS for years, doing those same kind of interviews and just been skating on by. Now, all of a sudden, because of this Me Too movement, when we shine a light on the African-American men in this thing, it's been her and Oprah going hard on accusations, okay? Some actually proven and deserving, but some accusations that if it's not confirmed that it actually happened, what are we doing? But tarnishing these black people. But you're not going after Harvey Weinstein because she said herself, and Oprah and I quote, I look for the rainbows in the clouds.
Oh, yes, she did. She did say that. But I am 16 people that's over here. Go over to Captivating Christian. I'm going to end this right there. I just wanted y'all to know I'm on Captivating Christian channel. But I would say this. Oprah was wrong saying that statement. I feel as though you get a lot of black people in power that are afraid to upset white America. That's nothing new.
That's nothing new. But when do you? There's no way you can obtain true power by always being subservient.
But you have to have your own ownership of your own network, your own.
She don't
own CBS though.
She don't own CBS, but she does own network, don't she?
I mean, no, she doesn't own that anymore. Not Oprah. She gave that back to Discovery. Once her,
did she?
Yes, she did. She sold her share back. And what funny to me, her show was flopping with the white shows, mind you. And then somebody said, you need to talk to some black folks. You know, black people watch the most television. And she started with the Tyler Perry show. At first, it was Rosie O'Donnell. It was White Millionaire. Nobody tuned in.
2020.
It was that black, ghetto, ratchet, stage play, bad wigs television. And that's what we like. What? We can sit here and talk all day. But once I put my wig on, I get more views. I can put my wig on right now, baby, in my
thank you.
But I get more views with that.
No, thank you.
My dashiki. Oh, you ain't got hit what I got.
No, but again, it's the level that you choose to. It's the level that you choose to perform or to display, and that's your choice, and that's fine because it's your choice, and you get to choose that. But I'm just saying, when do we get to a place in which you say, "Hey, you know what?"
But Captivating. If you have that energy, you won't be working that long in television, baby. Because television, you got to do what the executive tell you to do, or you're gonna lose your job. That type of experience.
Well, again, there's some people that take jobs and take roles and actually play those roles and do it. And some people say, you know what, I decline because I don't want to be shown in that light. And that's just how it works. So I'm not going to sit here and say that I have to take every job because I don't have to take every job. If it's something against that I don't truly believe shows not only me, but the people I represent in a good light, I'm not taking it. And that's just my personal stance. You can choose to do what you want to do, and that's your choice. But my personal stance is, no, I wouldn't do that. So if that question was there and they wanted me to ask it, I could find a way to ask it. And even when she answered it, just leave it alone. That's it. That's all you had to do was leave it alone. She answered it. She said, well, I think that, the person, the situation was set aside and, they settled out of court. And I think it should be left at that. And that should have been it, period.
But this is where the beauty of the business. We're having more conversation about Gayle King, CBS, than we have never done before. Even about the cold cancel culture. I think that's very dangerous because if we can't be honest and ask questions without being canceled, we ain't gonna be able to say nothing. It's nothing I'm gonna be able to say without the threat of cancel.
But again, there's a level of asking a question. Then saying something insensitive and and then getting canceled for it. Like, oh, well, what did I say? I mean, that's just excuse me, that just don't make sense to me. Go ahead, Antonio.
I'm gonna chime in again because both of you were saying the same thing.
Right.
We're going back and forth about it. So I'm going to direct to the comments because Marlena Smith said what I was thinking. She said, why all the concerns with Oprah's pockets? All these black male millionaires, why haven't they own a team of media to have control over their image? So besides Tyler Perry Studios, which literally just came out, beyond that, how many other big black name studios are there, and why isn't
that's because we can't come together? Because if some of them came together and actually built the conglomerate to where in which they would have their own stuff concerning their own images, then we'd be a real threatened power.
And also
remember Black Wall Street.
We could have it, and people like Tyler Perry, he put his resource with Black America. He's one of the difference. He took money from Black America and built a studio for Black America. And look how he's getting dogged by Black people. They dogging him out. Where was this at when he was doing his plays only? When the man built his studio, 330 acres, by the way, they start critiquing his movie, the wigs, the camera angles, and everything like that. But it's okay because 28 million people viewed it. But we have to do what Brother Tyler Perry did and invest in our own thing. But also, too, Tyler Perry, I got to call you out. Just like this, you have to pay your actors and actresses fairly. Don't just
but then you also have to
pay them fairly.
You also have to have Black writers and Black directors. You can't do it all. Like, you have to be able to pass it on. But see, that's
you're right.
We get so caught up in I made it, I did it. So you're gonna have to figure out a way to make it and do it. We need to lose that mentality. That is the same mentality that they have taught us to have, but they don't even have it.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have it. They taught us to have it, but they don't have it. They pass down their stuff. They make sure that their stuff is. You think these senators care about what they're doing? No, because they're making money underhandedly. They're making money. Russia is pouring so much money into the NRA. It's ridiculous. And some of them senators are taking campaign money, putting that aside. 1 for me, 2 for them, 2 for me, and 1 for them. That's just what they're doing. So that's why they're okay with the way stuff is going.
But I also would like to say this.
Hold on, let Antonio speak real quick.
I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. I'm new to this, so I don't know when to jump in and when not to. So I'll try to let people finish. But back to what Wiley was saying in terms of pay. If I started a business tomorrow, I can't tell you that my employees are going to make $15 an hour. I can tell you I could pay you minimum wage for right now. Give me 6 months. Business will double. I'll be able to pay you more. So again, Tyler Perry Studios just opened up. So he can't outright pay
that
people.
Money ain't just opened up though.
Yeah, but
that studio did, but that money ain't just open up.
Tyler Perry got almost $1 billion. He got the money. He told Monique, I'm not in the business of writing checks. And I don't like that. If you want to be the first, then be the first African Americans to pay Taraji P. Henson $10 million. It's still on this day when the Forbes magazine released the list of top actresses, top paid actresses, no Black actress is on that list, including Whoopi Goldberg. That is a problem. That's a problem, my brother.
Ooh.
No Black actors. Anytime you see a list, even with the Black actors, it's only maybe Will Smith. That's the only one you would, or Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. I mean, Dwayne. You don't see many of us getting the paydays like our white counterparts.
Right. No.
And
but again, we need to start. But see, we need to stop looking for them to pay us. We need to start paying.
We gotta pay each other to pay.
That's your employer. If I work at McDonald's,
no, I'm just saying. I'm talking. I'm not. We're not going. I'm basically talking about the stars that have it, like the Tyler Perrys. You start paying actors to, hey, do your movie here. Hey, if you start really promoting that instead of picking which ones you want to come do there, because they're going to be big blockbusters or whatever, and it's going to bring a lot of attention to your studio. If we start focusing, Hollywood will start paying attention.
That's true, because Hollywood is still shutting out Brother Tyler Perry. they still don't see him as
they'll use the studio though.
They have the studio, but I'm talking about he even did an interview with Gayle King. He said they still don't do that. But he said, listen, I'm not gonna fight for Oscar So White. I'm gonna build my own table in Atlanta, Georgia. But I want him to pay his writers fairly. He fired his writers when they want to unionize. See, I don't want you to become a corporate man with a black face. If you're going to be the black face and you, kumbaya, I'm doing it for y'all people, you got to be fairly. And I have to call you out, brother Tyler Perry, like I'm going to call out any other studio. I'm not going to give you a pass because you black. I'm going to call you out and I'm going to stay on your neck. For how long? And I don't mind. You can hire me for your plays and stuff like that. But I got to call you out. I've heard from Tasha K that you're evil, that you have a nasty attitude. Can't nobody tell you nothing. You do it in one take.
Well, I mean, that's all.
I heard
alleged. That's all allegedly. So, in the words of Maddie, if I had a sign that said allegedly, I would put it up. That's all alleged. Ain't nobody got time for that. So anyway, getting back to things. Let's see. There was an article of, entertainment wise. Let's shoot over there and get out of all this mess going on right now. There was an article that Janelle Monáe revealed that she's recovering from mercury poisoning due to her Presbyterian diet. Because she was eating a lot of fish. But she didn't know fish had mercury in it?
Isn't that something you learn when you're younger? I mean, I'm not okay. Let me backtrack before. Let me immediately recede what I just said. Not everybody knows that, but that's one of those things that I was taught when I was younger. Don't eat too much seafood because it's mercury in it. You'll get mercury poison. So, how much fish was she eating?
Quite a bit. The article actually says she was eating it every day. That was her daily diet.
Wait a minute. So B Love Life, you got to be careful because she eat nothing but seafood every day. I didn't know that.
She had she was eating organic. She was eating seafood, large amounts of it.
She must have been out fishing for gas because
causes nerve
eat a lot to actually get mercury poisoning.
Yeah, it causes nerve damage.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh wow! See, this is something I didn't even know that, and this is why my brother, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, he said how to eat to live, and you have to be careful what you put in your body and research it because that can be your death bed.
Well, I follow Dr. Sebi. I mean, I watch him and
you follow Dr. Sebi, yes. So I'm trying to get to his work.
I mean, I did the vegan thing for a year. It was cool. It's expensive, but
in a good shape.
I can't. I'm not.
I thought it was fun.
I'm not.
I'm a comedian. You ain't gonna say I'm thick myself.
Oh gosh. Okay. So yeah. So that was some entertainment news on that. I thought that was interesting. Question. I don't know if any of you heard, but Billy Porter did
the union address
segment on Sesame Street.
Oh no!
Everybody was up in arms because he wore the ball gown on Sesame Street. The ball gown dress is supposed to follow a deceased what they called the house ball person who had deceased who wore it in the actual ball or whatever. It was to give homage to him. But so he wore it on Sesame Street. People was outraged and said that the episode should be canned. I'm two-sided on that.
I would say know your audience.
Huh?
Know your audience.
What about him?
In terms of Billy Porter, know your audience.
Yeah. I'm two-sided on that. One side, I just feel like, granted, it's cool to be who you are, whatever, and all that good stuff. But I think that we should kind of create, there should be a time and a level to where in which you expose children to certain things. I think it is okay to let children just be inclusive and maybe not,
not force it in front of them.
Yeah, like not be like, "Wow, this is what it is. This is like let them be children and let them just, be children and enjoy. And if they have questions, let them be able to ask the questions. But we should not be putting stuff in front of them like, hey, you gotta look out for this, or know that these people out here too, and you gotta respect them. Just let them be children. They don't really know what's what. So why must we sit here and put people? I just think it's too much. It's too early. Like,
Can I agree?
We'll be doing sex education in kindergarten classes, and it's like, what are we doing?
We in a different time, more advanced time. A lot of things kids now that 50 years ago a 10-year-old wouldn't be exposed to, but now they will be. So I personally believe he should put on the dress and put it on, go on Sesame Street, watch the show, because kids see stuff all the time. You got kids now transgender. Some kids say, "Oh, I'm trans now" at 7, 8 years old.
But at 18 years old, you can go ahead and transform or whatever into whatever you want to be. That's fine. But a child, come on, like, no.
So if the parent agreed to it, that child said, see, if we come with that rhetoric, then what about some critics say, "Oh, you can't say you gay at 6, 7 years old. How you know that? You don't know your body." I mean,
but I'm just saying, what a child may feel is fine. What a child may feel is fine.
Okay.
What I'm saying is, what a child may feel is absolutely fine. If a child feels that they're more one gender than the other, and the parent is okay with kind of that's between the parent and the child. And the parent, of course, being responsible for the child, should then be responsible. But if the parent is saying, "Hey, I see, that you want to be this way. I understand it, but I'm asking you, can you wait until you are of a certain age to do that?" You can go to counseling together and kind of get an understanding and go through the whole thing. But it's like, who's the parent? Like, who's running this here?
I think it's up to the parent.
What was the segment about? Before I make my next comment, what was Billy Porter's segment about?
Oh, he was just like, he was on Sesame Street with the ball gown, and people said that the episode should be trashed because they don't agree with him being on Sesame Street wearing that, almost like it's pushing the agenda onto little kids.
Okay, so I think they could have done it differently, where he did a segment on different styles of the world.
Yeah, right.
Where he came out in one outfit, let it be a pantsuit, let it be a dress or whatever, and he constantly changed his outfit to say that there are different people around the world, different races, creeds, whatever you want to call it, and they dress differently. Mm-hmm. That way, Billy could have been himself, because he could have chose all the outfits.
Right.
Everybody would have pretty much been okay with it, because he's not just dressing as one thing. He's dressing as multiple things to express the diversity of the world. Right. So they could have done it differently than the way that it seems it was portrayed.
I would say this, though. We in a time that I don't have a problem with that. White racist people said, "Don't put black people on television. It's going to destroy our children. Black kids can't go to school with white kids. It's going to destroy their lifestyle." So if we come with that rhetoric that Billy Porter can't put on a dress, how is a dress going to affect a child? I don't get that logic.
Nobody's saying that. Nobody's saying that Billy Porter can't put on a dress. Nobody's saying that. I'm saying that as far as children are concerned, right, there should be a level to where in which certain things are not pushed on them to accept. Let them be children. He could have had on a pantsuit and said just as simply, "Sometimes I like to wear pants, and sometimes I like to this," and could have left it alone. But the fact that you got this big ball gown thing on and you walking through Sesame Street, like,
it's some church. It's the church I'm from. Speak against women wearing pants. They said, "Oh, women can't wear pants. That's not a good look. Women got to wear dresses." So we come with this.
Again, that's something that certain churches practice for biblical reasons.
And
And it's their practice, and they choose to do that, and that is okay. Whatever you choose to do is perfectly fine. I'm just saying, for me, I feel like that's just a bit much. I think children should be children, and maybe at a certain age, then you could start introducing them to certain things, because of course they're watching TV and they're doing all these things. But again, it is the parents' responsibility, because that's where you learn everything first.
Watch whether they click on the TV or don't watch it. The parents' decision, because you have
of course. But that's what I just said.
I don't think they should end the episode, because if they do that, then if a trans woman, oh no, it's too no, I'm not gonna go with that. If you can sit and see your kids, some parents allow their kids to watch people cussing, commit adultery, fornication.
Well, again, but then that's their choice. That is their choice. That is their choice. Like, people talk about Bert and Ernie being in a relationship. Why do we even have to discuss that? When I was growing up, I didn't know if Bert and Ernie was in a relationship or not. I just knew they were two people that lived in a house and they slept in separate beds. Whether they were in a relationship or not, I had no idea. I didn't know Big Bird was a boy until later on in life, and I was still like, huh?
I don't even think I questioned whether Big Boy was a boy or a girl. I didn't care. It was a 12-foot bird. I didn't care.
Did you care? No, I didn't care. So that's my point. It's like, you get to a point like you don't care. It's like, it's whatever. Okay, I'm not stressing it. I don't know nothing about it. I'm just liking the characters. So why can't we just have that? Everything has to be like, you have to be this. Like, for example, even if a transgender person was to go on Sesame Street, why does it have to be where you say that you are transgender? If you look female or you look male, that's just what it's gonna be. Because the children wouldn't know no different. The children only know what we then tell them.
It was a drag queen that go to public libraries and she reads to the children. They drag the drag. Oh, should no drag queen be reading to kids? I'm like, this is sad, because that's dangerous rhetoric, and we people should not push that agenda. It is no such thing that forcing an agenda on people, because if that's the case, I've been watching straight people hunch for years, and I'm not 100% straight. I've been seeing people lick on boobs for years, and I'm not a boob licker 100%, 50%. But that logic don't exist with a heterosexual. But when it comes to gay people, it's a gay agenda. Y'all, you can't force that. If that's the case, make me straight 100%. Please, if anybody force me straight, force that agenda on me.
Right, but of course that's because that's what it is. It's a thing of not fully knowing, not fully understanding, and not fully wanting to understand or know.
Did either one of you watch the Powerpuff Girls?
What?
Did either one of you watch the Powerpuff Girls?
No.
Powerpuff Girls?
Yes.
Sugar Spice, everything. Oh, yes, I love the Powerpuff.
Okay, so you remember him, right?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Is that the thing with heels?
Like him?
Is that the thing with heels?
No. Yes. The big red thing with the claws and the heels with the pink fur around his neck. The one with the slick down black hair.
Yes.
Yeah, see, I remember that. You remember that. I don't dress like him. You don't dress like him. So it looks like we're fine.
Yes, you better. Come on.
Captivating. Look up him from the Powerpuff Girls and let me know. And this was a guy. When I was younger, I thought it was a girl. But when they said his name is him, I was like, whoa, okay, whatever, it's a guy. And then I moved on. Do you see him?
No, but I think that hold on.
I just saying, anybody want to force me straight? I'm here. Everybody talking about these agendas. Please force that agenda on me. I'm ready.
But yeah, I grew up watching the Powerpuff Girls, and him was directly in front of my face. I don't dress like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's him.
Wow.
The one that looked like he could be an extra in Pretty Woman? Yes, that's him.
But then my question was 5-year-olds, 4-year-olds, 3-year-olds watching Powerpuff Girls.
Yes.
I don't. When Powerpuff Girls came on, what a cartoon show! I was under 10 at that point. I had to be around like seven or 8.
I didn't watch.
Yes. So that goes on, and I just feel like
I had regular cartoons when I was a kid. Okay, we didn't have to deal with the only time you had to deal with it was when Bugs Bunny occasionally put on a dress or something to elude being captured. Other than that, and I mean, even that you didn't question. You wasn't like, where is he?
I think we as the adults are doing the question. Kids don't care. They love to see the dress. But
that's what I was just saying. We put those kind of things on them. Yeah. They don't have that. Just like how we say racism is taught. It's the same thing. They don't have any kind of thing of, black, white, Mexican, this, that, and other. Their friends are their friends. We be like, oh, don't sit there with Mexican, don't talk to them black folks, don't sit with them white folks, and then it becomes a thing like, I can't sit with you because so and so said, and then they go on and they just live their lives like that.
All of that stuff is taught. It's not,
and that's how I was trying to tell Pastor Troy. Y'all know who Pastor Troy is, the people that's in the dirty South. That he feels as though he don't want his child to be gay, and he don't want that forced agenda because Lil Nas X had on pink. I'm like, that can't force your child to be gay because of what color fabric Lil Nas X have on his clothes.
Well, we can't sit there and say that when Cameron years ago will walk around with the pink fur and the pink coat and the pink this and the pink that, and it was all cool in hip hop. So that's what I'm saying. It's a lot, and we again as a people need to stop with this overly and I'm saying overly plantation breeder mentality. Because we are no longer, we are slaves in a sense, but we are no longer slaved in chains and bondage to where in which we are breeders to someone to make money. So why must we always get into this concept of, oh, the black man has to be this because you got to procreate? Some people just aren't going to be able to procreate, period. Doesn't make them any less black, any less male or female than anybody else. So let's get out of that. And some of the people that do procreate shouldn't.
Whatever. Don't make too much sense.
Because I'm just saying, they're so many kids, and it's like, okay, how many fathers do they have? And are there fathers in their lives? No. And some people, I've heard some people say, oh, a woman can't raise a man, can't go. Yeah, there may be certain things that a woman cannot raise a man to be. Right? Overall, I get that. But one thing that a woman can do if she has to raise that man by herself is teach that man how to be a man that she wanted to see in her life. So if she wanted to see a man that stood up and actually, was responsible and looked out for his fellow women and all that kind of stuff, then that's the man that she would raise.
Or you get male figures in your life to help with that boy child. I tell all my single female friends, I always try to get a male figure there because they need to get a sense of that male energy. Because a woman can't raise a man. They can only give you from their perspective, but
right back.
Learning the biological, the going up, and
Yeah, no, and I understand that, and it's true. Like that's why they have the mentoring programs and all those things, and I think it's important to get your sons involved in that if you are a single mother, and if you have male and seek out male friends that you have that are productive.
You better say it.
That are doing something in life.
So
in which it shows them something different than just hanging out or just hanging around. Do that. It is okay, and it's not that you're being quote unquote white or whatever that is. We are diverse people. We are diverse of colors. So we are truly a diverse people. Let's stop trying to act like we're just this one kind of microcosm of a person. We're like so much bigger than that. And we need to just really like step into that at some point. I wish we would just really get it together.
Someone said in the chat, Boys play with cars, girls play with dolls, period. That's not the case. That's a thing that you've been conditioned to believe.
Right. That's definitely something you conditioned to believe, because I have a twin sister, and there's a lot of times where if it was raining outside or something like that, we couldn't go outside. I got stuck playing with her. She got stuck playing with me. Most of the times I could go in the basement and play with my own toys. I didn't really bother anybody. But if she was like, "Oh, play," I had no choice but to play. I mean, yeah, my mother would be mad at a sense, but to me, I didn't look at it like, "Oh, it's making me some type of way." It's like I'm just playing, because I didn't look at it like that. As a kid, you don't. It's the adults that make it look like, "Oh, this is bad. Don't do that because you're gonna. Don't do this because you're gonna." And it's like,
I want to tell you, Captivated Christian, for years, I was so afraid to go into the movies because my church said, "You're going to hell if you go to the movies." For a long time, I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna go to hell if I watch this movie." So, because I was so conditioned to believe that going to the movies was sinful. So once I got out of that cult mentality, I had to deprogram from that bad teaching. A lot of us need to deprogram from that false teaching that we've been taught to hold us back.
Yeah.
Everybody just needs to do what they do to make themselves happy.
Yes.
At the end of the day, we're all in a relationship with ourselves. Every morning I look in the mirror and say, "How are you, Antonio? You good?" "I'm good."
Well, some people don't like themselves now. You can't say that.
I don't like
and that's my point, though.
Some people
They don't like themselves. They force that hatred on everybody else and they put it outward.
Well, yeah.
That's how it goes.
Yeah, they do.
Everything starts inward. So if you aren't happy in your own personal relationship with the person in the mirror, like Michael Jackson said, look at the man in the mirror. If you aren't happy with who you are in the mirror, that hatred
he didn't like
is
that
going
man.
to go.
He turned him into Peter Pan. he didn't like that man. He turned him into Peter Pan / Elizabeth Taylor.
You're right. You have
But
to have
you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, truly.
And that comes from experience. I've been there. I used to say, "Oh, I'm so ugly. Oh my God." And you start doing ugly things. But once you start looking in that mirror, baby, I love my stretch marks. I love my jelly rolls. I love my big breasts. I just love everything about my body. I love me.
And that's all that matters.
That's all that matters.
And as long as you love you, nobody's going to mess with your day. Nobody going to mess with your spirit because you love you. And those same people that always want to mess with your spirit, they the people that don't like themselves. They don't like the life that they're living. So they got to spread that hatred. And that's what the problem is.
Yes. You better come on. Let me put on my glasses.
He did not put them glasses on.
Wait a minute. I love me. And it took me a while to get there. And I get emails from people that get bullied. And they said, "Wiley, how did you overcome that?" It's because I started to love me and look at my gift. I can make people laugh. But you cannot allow other folks to put that hatred on you. That's just how they feel.
Yeah, you can't. They definitely can't do that. Like I mean, I tell people all the time, what someone thinks about me or says about me is none of my business, and nor will I concern myself with that. You know, that's your business, and I will continue to do me, and you can continue to do you, and we will just coincide.
Yes.
We got to stop being worried about what the next man is doing. As long as your house is still up on its foundations and the lights are still on, then you should be good.
As long as you go to the restroom and enjoy your life and go freely, don't be worried about nobody else, baby. My mother told me something when she was sober. You got to get out of people. The higher you go up, they're going to talk about you. When she was sober, now when she was drunk, it was something else. But I had to learn that. I was so reactionary. Like in the chat, somebody said, "Oh, you look dirty. You look like you stink." I can't do that because you probably stink. And I probably do stink, but I don't have to allow your attitude and comments to make me feel bad. Come on now. I can't. But I don't stink, by the way. Okay.
But again, it's like we said, it starts with you. So you have to make sure you're on the up and up. So if the person did, not saying you, but if the person did have kind of an older issue or whatever, handle that, because it starts with you. You got to make sure, hey, I look good. I feel good. It doesn't matter what people may think or say about me. I know I look good, and you move forward. Yes. But you can't,
Because I'm on my natural look, and this lady said to me at work, "Oh, why do you need to cut your hair?" I said, "Ma'am, I don't want to be disrespectful, but if I were to tell you to take out that horse hair out of your head, you would get highly offended. So as long as you're able to wear your weave and it's itching and making you scratch and all that, you have a right to do that. So let me wear my hair as nappy."
How you doing? Yeah, speaking of that, actually at work and having hair, the U.S. Circuit Court appealed a ruling, and this was some time back, so I'm not sure if they filed again, and maybe they still got denied. But this lady, she was offered a job, and then they asked her to cut her locks because it was against company policy, so to speak, because they looked messy, she said. I think the HR lady said they looked messy, so they may need her to cut them, and she felt that it was violating her rights, so she took it to court. She lost the first case, won the second one, then they took it to the federal appeals court. The federal appeals court struck down the ruling that it is now okay for your employer to basically tell you how to wear your hair. So if they deem that your locks are unkept or whatever, or I guess any hairstyle at this magnitude, that you will have to change it.
My issue with that is that Republican Rachel can come in with her hair down to her ass and shed all over the place. And I do literally mean shed. She flicks her hair at her desk, and these long strands flicker and fly everywhere. And that's completely fine. But for my hair, the way it is, to be an issue makes no sense.
Yeah.
But that comes for, we have to vote. And this is why I tell people, the Senate elect these, confirm these judges. They got these long life-term positions, and that's their position.
They're not life-term. They're not life-term positions.
Some of these is death. Gonna take a some is
the senators, you mean?
No, I'm talking about some of the judges. Some is lifetime.
Oh, well, yeah, some of the judges definitely are lifetime, but they get voted in by you know,
if you're not educated enough there, and maybe I need to get some judges on my show. But they feel as though black people should not have that. It's whatever your personal, it shouldn't be that way, but that's how they feel, because they don't like black people with certain styles. They even with the afros. You remember that? They used to say, "Oh, you can't have these big afros."
Right.
Anytime we do something as black people,
but if I don't want to wear my hair in a European style, why should I?
Why should I? I should be able to put on my wig of dreads and go to work in pink, blue. I should be able to do it as a citizen. I'm not going to do that because I work in a nursing home. I was scared of both.
Now, I will say that if it is not kept well, then yeah, maybe you need to go make an appointment to have your locks tightened. I do believe that.
What's your definition of kept? Because
my definition of kept is groomed. Just like you go and get a haircut and you get a shape up and stuff like that. That's I think that's probably.
See, if we do that, if I see a woman with their tracks with no edges, and I see that check, that glue that they get, the sticker, and I see it leaning down, should they lose their job because their hair is not quote unquote kept? Like, if I
but listen, I'm not saying you should lose your job, but for one, let's be very clear. When you're hired, you're representing that company, point blank in the period. So to be mindful of that you are representing the company, then you should at least make sure it is upkept. There's no reason. You get paid every week, so there's no or every 2 weeks, or however your pay schedule runs. There's no reason for a track to be slipping and you be looking busted at work. You're working. What are you working for?
Now, I do give you the point. You do represent the company, just like if you smelling bad. We just had a meeting at my job. Bad hygiene. Some of these folks smelling really, really bad. And in some words, they say you have to have good hygiene.
That's a whole another thing. I've worked in offices where Big Becky rolled out of bed, threw on some clothes, and came to work smelling like, I don't know.
Yes, a gula I ain't trying to speak against my brothers from the other nations, but baby, a gula, I'm like, y'all not about to be smelling like this. Take a nap. Wash your behind. And I'm like, I was standing there and I thought it was one of my patients, and that was their body odor. You should not be smelling bad than people that's in nursing home. You shouldn't be smelling worse than the patients.
I agree.
You shouldn't be smelling like no box of onions and piss and booty.
That's a work disruption. That's a work disruption.
Yeah, I can't deal with all that. That funk give me a headache.
You made me choke. So now some of our brothers and sisters use a different kind of deodorant. Hey, Rico, what's going on? Some of our brothers and sisters use a different kind of deodorant.
I get it, but that be funk. It deodorant my booty. They be smelling up, and I'm like, how can you come to work? It was so bad at the job. They literally had to stop us. They said, it's the emergency meeting. I was like, oh, we got to get a raise, child. What up? And they said, it smelled like, in so many words, a zoo, like animals. And I'm like, it's sad. The residents complain.
Yeah.
Said, can you please do something for your staff? Because they're smelling bad.
Yeah, no.
But they don't know. They're nose blind to it. Because
It's strange looking like, girl, that ain't me.
Yeah.
You the man.
Some of them have an issue with the deodorant because it has aluminum in it, but they do.
I don't use aluminum deodorant either.
They do make deodorant now without aluminum. So, yeah. And I do think that, they need to be certain type of stipulations because sometimes I've walked into places and was like, whoo, all right, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And they need to do courses. They need to do when you get hired, it needs to be a day. Okay, this is how you brush your teeth. This is a shower. They need to do courses. And I'm sorry that you have to teach adults, especially from different countries, a gula in them. If you come there, this is America. This is our style of hygiene. Okay, in order to become a citizen, I know you got to bathe. This is America. We all about taking showers and smelling good. You smelling like boo-boo. That's not our thing. You can't become a citizen. I'm sorry. Immigration, please put that in the law. I'm going to text you, President Trump. I'm going to text you after we get done, Trump.
I know a lot of people that don't use deodorant, period. Right. What they do is they have alcohol in a spray bottle. So, because that'll eat away the bacteria. That's what they do. So whenever I start to feel or smell or whatever, I don't do it. But whenever they start to whatever, they'll just spray it and it washes it away. And that's fine because the person never stunk. She never stunk. I didn't even know that's what she did until they told me.
Now, this is the last thing before we go because we've been on here for a minute too long. This is the last thing. Speaking of Erykah Badu is coming out with a new incense.
Oh my God, I heard about that.
It's the smell of her pujana. She is taking her underwear, cutting it up in pieces, and they're creating an incense fragrance from the smell of her vagina. And it's called Erykah Badu's Pussy is what it's called. She said, and I quote, that it's been rumored that that her private changes lives. So she wants to spread that to the rest of the world and start an incense line with the smell of her vagina. So what are your thoughts?
Well, I like vagina on Mondays and Tuesdays, so I would love to spray that on me.
Mondays and Tuesdays is your day?
Mondays and Tuesdays.
Oh, okay. So the rest of the week you get that.
Allegedly, I would like to do. I love the smell of it. I love the smell of a vagina. If it's smelling good, I love the smell of it. Love the smell of sex. That just does it for me.
Okay. Has anybody asked their exes? Is any of this true?
Well, they said Common did a whole 360
afterwards.
No, Common did a whole 360 while he was with her. He was the Common that we see now. He was that when he first met her. Then he changed and went all kind of Muslim / awoke, and then he gained himself back. Andre 3000 was kind of all entangled, and now he emerged out of it, and so there's a rumor that you mess with her, you get caught up, and
the power of women. Period. I feel like with a good woman, that attributes attract to her. You know what I mean? If you a woman and you got good credit and I got bad credit, if you literally listen to her, your credit can be good. I just think that's on her after her character. Some people got a strong personality that can just wear on you. That happens in gay relationships sometimes. But I think Erykah Badu is one of them women that got that dominant, strong, attractive personality. You be like, man, I want to wear dashiki. Power to the people. Assalamu alaikum. It's just like because she just have that type of personality.
Yeah, and
she's always herself.
Yeah.
No matter when and where, she's always herself.
Yeah. That's true. And then sometimes people's their level of awareness is different, and it makes you think. You know, some people have a sense of awokenness that makes you like, oh, you know, I didn't think about that, or I never thought about that, or I never, you know, and you start to like really kind of delve into their thought process and how they think and how they eat and all that kind of stuff.
But then again, especially to sex, it's very powerful. You lay that good. See, sex is a spirit with sex. You got to be careful eating people for vajayjay. And even because some of that I know, listen, it's some vajayjay that's very powerful. They make you question your sexuality. I had some of that stuff too, but it wears off at a certain time, especially if you ain't hitting it constantly. Even with men, with the peen, the power of the peen. Some people just got power. You got to be careful who you have sex with. Sex is a very powerful tool. It makes you change your whole thought process. Got to be careful who you go down on, or you let down on you.
I do believe that there's transference through sex. It's one of those things where it's one of those people where you truly connect with. When you do have sex with them, you feel them, and it's like you really do feel that type of connection.
Right.
I would feel the energy and everything.
That's why it's good that when you're done with them and you're completely finished with them, that you sage yourself and your surroundings to clear your spirits of all bad and negative.
I've heard that before, actually. I've actually heard that before.
On my back, I will never get it. I was 18, 19. It was really good. I went to work and it's just like it was on my back. He was on my neck. It was just, I felt that energy, and it took me a while to get away from him because he was no good, but his sex was just so powerful. So I had to change my whole energy, a lot of meditation, a lot of prayer. Yeah. So I understand you some sisters when y'all get in a messed up situation and give your refund check to these no good men, because peen, you know, that's, you got to be careful. That's on a strict top.
Well, yeah. Okay, great. We clearly don't care. All right. It's been great, you guys. I'd like to thank my main guest, my friend Antonio, one of the best friends, the other one. But now that he's no longer in the same state as me, we don't see each other as much. So this is cool that we actually get to see each other. I'm mad that my friend could not join us because she was supposed to, but I don't know what happened to her. She disappeared. She probably asleep. But thank you, Wally, for popping on. I appreciate you hopping on. Don't make it a habit, but
peace and rest is my dear brother. And like I said,
thank you for coming on and behaving yourself and conducting yourself the way that we do here at Cap Hill with, you know, decorum.
Yeah, because it's your spirit. See, energy. You give me that mellow energy. You don't give me that wild, spontaneous energy. So my energy comes down a little bit.
Well, that's good. I'm glad you hear
and then
that.
You threatened to kick me off the air anyway, so I had no choice but to comply with the energy.
I mean, hey, that's the way it goes. That's the way it goes. Thank you, everybody, for in the chat. Thank you to my mods. And the people in the chat, you are, of course, the state reps. And my mods are the chairman and chairwomen. I see Teneri K in here, Just Jess, and, of course, Mr. Credential. And if you're not subscribed to Mr. Credential or any other content creators, please do so. I would ask that all the content creators that are in the chat, please put a 1 in the chat so people can go to your channels and check you out. And, you know, get some of your great content that you have. because we are a vast people full of a whole bunch of great ideas and different situations, like Auntie Donna, who is beautiful, by the way.
Shout out to Blue Skies. Thank you
Shout
all
out to Rico.
that came through. Make sure y'all subscribe. Happy birthday to Rico. May God continue to bless you and wish you many more years.
Yeah, that is cool. Yeah, Rico did recently have a birthday, so if we can get some happy birthdays in the chat for Rico. He was in New York partying. I had to give him a little reference to go hang out, and he actually did. He had a good time, which was cool. So that was cool, and it was nice to see him, even though he was walking on the daggone Brooklyn Bridge, and I'm like, why would you go up there? It's gonna be cold. But he was determined to get up there. He got up there too, and he was cold as shit. The wind was blowing so hard, his ear was flapping.
And I saw his hat flew off his head.
I was like, my God. So please make sure, brother, you take care of yourself. Take some vitamin C and stuff so you don't get sick, because I know that bridge was no joke. But yeah, it was nice to follow him in his little antics through the streets of New York. That was nice. But anyway, yeah, so please subscribe. Thank you guys for coming out. It was a great show. Thank you all for participating on the panel. Please, I may call on you again, so be prepared. Not you could always pop in. Ain't nobody calling on you. I'm talking about my best friend over there. So,
sorry, this pop in.
you don't get those privileges. I mean, you're a content creator. You do, you have some good interviews. Like you did the interview with the dude from Chase in Dallas. I thought that was a good interview.
And I love you, and I feel like I give you honor and respect because I know that you have courage. Because deal with me, you have to be a strong Black warrior to allow me on the platform. Because people are afraid of me; they think I'm a lot of things. I'm not going to say the terms, but I'm just not that. I'm very versatile. Okay, when it comes to media,
okay,
very versatile in media.
Okay. Well, all I care about is that when you come to Cap Hill, that you conduct yourself well. And if you don't, you will be shown the door. And, that's just, and that goes not just for you. I mean, that's really much anybody, I don't mind, people having different points of view or even, different energies. But when it's too much, it's like, okay, yeah, you got to go. But, with that, and I mean, of course, we've had our moments. You've called me Dusty Dreads and all these types of names, which I still have not gotten a formal apology, and I would think that since you're here right now, it would be
okay. I would like to apologize for my words because as a comedian, you say
a comedian ain't got shit to do with it. You're not that funny. You're not that funny. Because if you were really a comedian, you'd be getting paid.
Dusty Dreads. I don't know what made me say it. But I saw you on a panel with a group of people and very my colleagues, and they were saying, and you were laughing. And I said,
because you can laugh at a joke.
You can, but I, as a human, I'm only human, and
right.
But it was wrong to say that because I don't know if your dreads are dusty.
They're not.
It could be smelling like strawberries. It look like it smell like coconut. So
exactly. There you go.
Yeah. So I was just saying that to my right, and I'm
right. You stay using that line like you're a comedian. That does not give you a pass. And comedians get paid. I don't even care if you're not that much of a comedian. They still get paid. Well, you need to go to a stand-up stage to an open mic night. Because this right here ain't it though. It ain't it. So anyway, thank you for your apology. I accept it because I'm the bigger person, and I'll just at the end of the day, I am grown. So
I need to be humble.
Apology.
Yes.
I accept the apology.
I'm glad that we have to. We as Black men have to come to a place when you do wrong to admit, hey, I did wrong. I apologize.
Right. To apologize to accept you're wrong. Yeah, that's true.
Absolutely.
Everybody grown until it's time to say I'm sorry.
It is. Rico, behave yourself. He said that.
Oh my God.
That's somebody you need. That y'all something needs to happen with that. But,
we have to have a conversation.
Yes, you can, sister. You can smell it. It smells like coconut oil, but you can smell it.
Okay, I would love to, but
I wasn't talking about you. I'm talking about his sister. Not you.
Oh, okay, not me, but it would have to be a sober, conversation.
I ain't got no water for you. Okay, I ain't got no water.
You ain't got no water for me?
No, because you seem kind of thirsty, so I don't have no.
Oh no! I drank me some hot coffee. I'm very sober, and and I'm gonna go to the toilet and urinate.
The hot coffee made me make you dehydrated because you seem quite thirsty.
It's just really, really good. Don't Erica Badu me. I'll start wearing some dreads. I got my dreads.
You know what? Bye. So thank you guys for coming out. God bless. Good night.
Oh, real quick.
Okay.
I saw in the comments people were asking for my channel. I'm not a content creator. I don't create anything. No.
Creator. But hopefully, due to all this, and
he's amazing though.
I thought my little brother watching me, he might be able to come up with something.
You should.
I'm sure
I don't mind being a guest, but I don't know about creating my own content.
You don't know. You're amazing. It was an amazing conversation. I thought you was a content. I asked for your channel.
No, I don't have a channel. He said, "Hey, do you want to come on?" And I said, "Sure."
Right.
Amazing. This is beautiful.
Yes, I have an array of friends that have different points of view, and that's the way I like it. Everybody is not, yes, I agree. It's a whole different array of people that eventually someday you'll get to see and hear their points of view and realize, oh, okay, I see why they're friends. So again, with that, thank you guys for being with us for 1 hour and 36 minutes.
Yeah,
I had fun though. I had fun, and thank you everyone.
I did have fun. It was cool. I do appreciate you guys for coming through. I appreciate everybody for stopping through, hanging out, sharing your thoughts. Like I said, enjoy your Saturday. If anything new pops up, I may pop up again, but I think this may be it. But again, thanks for stopping by.
Thank you.
Peace.
Yeah.
This is